Hey guys, this is Philippa, and this is episode 6 of the Philippa podcast. In this episode, I want to talk about faith. Last episode, if you watched last episode, we know we talked about faith. And just a little recap of last episode, I talked about my faith journey through taking apetamin, these pills to help me to help me have appetite and gaining weight, to aid me in having appetite for food and then to gain weight. But in this episode, I want to talk about why your faith don't work. Yes, why your faith don't work. But in this episode, I want to talk about why some of our faith don't work. Last episode was very vulnerable for me. I really been telling God that I was not recording this episode plenty times. I can't even begin to tell you how many times that I felt like that was the episode for me to record, that I told myself I was not doing that episode. But this time around, I just did it. I really wanted to... Let me see. Like, I really wanted to be in alignment. I really felt like that was what God wanted me to talk about at that period of my life that I was on. And in this season of my life, as I'm trusting God for appetite, as I'm trusting God not just appetite for food, but I'm trusting God for my appetite in His Word, my appetite in the things of Him. I'm trusting God in who I'm becoming as a woman. I'm trusting God in becoming a better person in general. And another thing that I talked about was how my character is being showcased to me in this season, that I've been thrusted into situations that's revealing to me some of the things that I've had embedded in my heart that I never looked at or was never aware of. And it's crazy because, in all honesty, this season I have been battling with lust in so many ways, and that's something I never want to talk about, but maybe one day we could get into it. This season, though, I don't feel like I'm supposed to be talking about that right now, but this season I'm just seeing myself. I have a front row seat to my life, to my inside, and just looking at some of the fruits that I bear. I had this dream a couple of weeks ago, and I swore for consultation on that dream, but I'm not even going to put it out here right now because I don't think I'm supposed to be talking about it to the public. There's just things that God is doing that I don't want to jinx it. But the temptations has been a lot. I think anytime you're about to cross over to a different dimension of your life, the temptation that you face becomes greater. Like, it becomes more. You know, like it almost feels unbearable. And this is so funny because I'm starting to realize, man, the reason why I've been battling with the stuff that I've been battling with recently is because you've been praying consistently, and you've been waking up at a certain time, and you've been doing this and you've been doing that. What did you think that you weren't gonna be, that the amount of that the battle that you was facing before was going to be the same battle that you face now? What did you think, that he wasn't going to try to come at you harder than he was before? Like, what did you think? Like, you didn't think that he was really just gonna up his game too. You thought you upped your game on your prayer life, but you don't think he's gonna up his game on temptation and the temptations that he has for you. I've been feeling terribly. Jesus Christ. I've been feeling terribly. It is well though. It is well. Well, hello you guys. This is Philippa and this is a Do Philippa podcast. This is episode 6 of a Do Philippa podcast. Last time I was gonna say it's episode 5 and I had said episode 7. Don't know why I said that. But this is episode 6, guys, and I'm very happy to be here. And I'm so happy because I have been praying, and really I feel like God has something for us. Not just for y'all, something for everybody, like for me in this episode. And whatever that he's gonna release out of me today, I want out of my lips, out of my belly, I want it to flow rivers of water. And today I'm so excited. Like, I don't know how to, I'm really just so excited because even just a couple of moments leading up to this podcast, he's just telling me that he's with me, and then telling me that he's here, and then telling me that I'm not doing this by myself, and that this whole time, he's been here, and he's here right now, and he's here in this moment, and he's in this room right now, and I could feel him, and it's just the assurance that he's here, and I feel like crying. I don't even know how to explain that to you or to anybody else, but man, it's the fact that even in our unfaithfulness, this God is so faithful. Even when we sin, even when we go astray, and we come back to him, he's here. It's almost like he's always there waiting for us. He may leave the 99 and go look for you, the one. But then there are times that, like the prodigal son, the one go roaming about thinking that he'll find something else on the other side. Then the one come back. Then when he comes back, the father's still there. And he's still the same father that he left. Man, God is so great. God is so great, man. He is so great. He is just God. Nothing really can be compared unto him. And this whole universe, there are no powers. There's nothing that's over him. We talk about this manians, we talk about these demonic spirits, we talk about principalities, we talk about things in the water, things in the air, we talk about things under the earth. Nothing can be compared unto him. Nothing. Heaven is where he stayed. The earth, his footstool. This God is so great, and I promise, I didn't even plan to start this podcast like that. You know how we start this podcast, I still be in my awkward phase, but it's just something that's just bursting out of my spirit right now, and it's something that he's just put in me right now. Well, let's go into today's podcast, y'all. I hope you guys are doing okay. Last episode was about faith. It was about my Peterman journey and why I stopped taking a Peterman. Just a little recap about last episode. I was talking about how I grew up taking a Peterman, these pills that's kind of like vitamins, and it helped me eat more, because as a child I wouldn't eat as much as I should, and so I wasn't consuming enough calories, so I was always kind of losing weight, or I wasn't gaining as much weight as I should as a child. And so it just started with my mom periodically giving it to me, and then when I grew up, but it was always periodically, it wasn't something I was always on. And so I had moments where I would gain weight, and then I've dropped all the weight that I gained, and then it had kind of just been my life until I really felt like I had to surrender everything to God. You know, when Megan Ashley talked about giving her life to God in totality, so it was more like I had to, like, if I say that I'm doing this God thing, then I gotta have faith in Him. Give all of me, like, to Him. Like, have faith, every part of me, have faith in Him. I can't say I trust Him in certain situations and I have faith in Him in certain situations, but then when it comes to situations like that, I'm like, oh, this is just too physical. Like, it's just, I just need to eat a lot and I just can't eat, and it's nothing spiritual, it's nothing bound to it. But then I feel like everything in life is spiritual, but aside that, there even the things that are physical, it ain't nothing that God can't intervene. Well, today I want to talk about why your faith don't work. Okay? And I want to start off reading Matthew 6:31-33. And so it says that, so do not worry, saying, what shall we eat? Or what shall we drink? Or what shall we wear? For the pagans run after all these things, and your heavenly Father knows that you need them. But seek first the kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things will be given as well. Will be given to you as well. And really, I want to talk about faith, right? This season of my life, I've just been leaning more on God when it comes to everything. Because in this season, I feel like I have a front row seat to my heart, to my life, to who I'm being, and there's to my character, to my mind, everything. It's almost like I'm more conscious of the things that I do that I didn't know that I used to do before. And so I'm seeing my faults, I'm seeing like the places, and I don't know if the convictions has heightened. It's heightened. And so because I have like a heightened sense of conviction when it comes to certain things, I'm just becoming more, I become more aware of the things that I do more this season. And so that's the thing about God though, when He peels layers of your heart to you, you don't have a choice but to give everything to Him. You don't have a choice but to surrender to Him, because when He peels these layers, you understand how deeply messed up you are. Deeply messed up that you are. And so the next thing that you could do, just give it to Him, right? And so it's easy for us to say that do not worry. I mean, the Bible said it, but it's easy for us to just be like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna worry about tomorrow, I'm not gonna worry about the future. But I think logically we worry about the future. We worry about where we're gonna sleep at, what we're gonna eat, how we're gonna be. And this season I've been thinking a lot. Like, I've found myself most days just being stressed out, like super stressed out. Stressed out about finances, stressed out about education, stressed out about just life in general and everything. And where I assume my life would have been at 23 and where I feel like my life is at right now. Stressed out about where I'm going to in life, whether I'm making the right decisions or not. Whether the stuff that I'm doing are God-centered or not. And then stressed out about whether I'm glorifying God or not, you know. And I've been so deep in my thoughts, and really just this deep fear of I'm not sure whether at the end of it it's gonna make sense. It's almost like I want to know that what the end will look like. Like, if I'm attaining this thing, if I'm going at this thing at this rate, or if I'm attempting at this thing at all, I want to know what the outcome of this thing is going to be. I don't want to keep going and then in the future realize that I worked so hard for these things, but that's not the future. Like, that's not, it didn't happen. It didn't happen the way that I thought it would. So this season, like, that's what where my mind is being. This is where my heart is being. Like, really, and there are days that I'm like, man, I just want to stop thinking. Like, I want to switch everything off. I want to just stop thinking, period. Like, because I can't stop my mind from just worrying about what the future look like. And then I look at Bible verses like this that says that the Father knows that you need these things, right? And then it says again that Jesus says this, and he said that seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. His kingdom and his righteousness. So really just seek him and make sure that you're in alignment with him. And in all the things that you're looking for, if the things that you're looking for, if it's not going to be an idol at the end of the day, if the stuff that you're looking for, if that's in his will for you, then those stuff will be added on to you. It will. And I wanted to say something, because while we're believing God for something, right? While we're waiting, having faith in God for stuff, in the waiting process, what are we doing? Like, what is our belief system really like? It's easy to just be like, man, I just have faith that I'm going to get this thing. James 2 verse 17 says, in the same way faith, it does not have works. In the same way, faith, if it does not have works, is dead by itself. But someone will say, you have faith and I have works. Show me your faith without works, and I will show you faith by my works. James 2 verse 17 18, right? And this reminds me of this analogy, like by Kerry Washington, that I watched a while back on Instagram. And I don't even know, I'm gonna just paraphrase what she said. So basically she's like, she's gonna run up to the bus, right? If she knows she has to catch a bus, she's gonna run as fast as she can to catch the bus. While she's running, she's gonna pray as hard as she can to pray. So she's running and she's praying. So if she doesn't catch the bus, then she knows that's not her bus. But if she runs as hard as she can and she doesn't catch the bus, then it could have been her bus, but she didn't have the grace that it took to receive that, to get on that bus. The same way, if she prays so much but don't run, it could have been her bus, but she never ran. So she doesn't know if the reason why she didn't catch that bus is because she didn't run or it's because she didn't pray. But if you pray and you run as fast and as hard as you can, and you still don't catch the bus, then you know that bus is not for you. That you weren't never supposed to get on that bus. That bus analogy, is great. You know what I'm saying? Like, and faith, I wrote on here that faith is a doing word. Faith is an action word. It's not just a thing to say. And I think most of us, we just say we have faith. We have this. But then isn't it Timothy that says that work to show yourself approved? So, study to show yourself approved. And using that same thing, if we're asking God for something, if we're asking God to be at a certain place, if we want to be certain people in this life, and we're only praying to God, but we're not giving it our 100 in our physical effort, I think in a way that's an insult to God. To really ask Him for something that you know you're not even putting effort into. So you're saying that you want Him to bless your half job. You want Him to bless your no effort thing. That's like Cain and Abel. Cain and Abel, it was all about the heart that did it. Cain gave that sacrifice, and it was out of the worst things that he could find. The worst things that he could find. When Abel made his sacrifice, when he killed the animal that he killed, he made sure that it was the fattest, it was the one that looked the best, the one that was the most healthiest, the heart that it came out of. You don't want to tell God you want this thing, but not work towards it. It's almost like it's like a slap in his face. It's a disregard to the hands that he gave you, to the legs that he's giving you, to the mind that he's giving you to use, to the lips that he's giving you, the mouth he's giving you to talk. It's a slap in the face to those stuff that he's giving to you. And I'm not even only talking to y'all, like I'm really just talking to myself for real. Cause most times we're in these waiting seasons, right? And this season of my life, I'm waiting for a lot, you know. Like I wanna desire things of the Lord. But I'm not just the only one. I know a lot of people that say they want to desire things of the Lord. But you can't say that you want to desire things of the Lord if you're not willing to go in the Word, if you're not willing to pray, if you're not willing to fast. You know that faith comes by hearing, right? And then hearing the Word of God. The Bible says that draw near to me and I'll draw near to you. He said that seek and you will find. That means you have to go seeking. That you have to seek. You have to seek. Seeking is not a one-time thing. It's a persistent thing. It's the word seek. It just even gives this persistent thing. Like you have to continuously seek, continuously want that thing. And as you continuously seek him, God is not a liar. He is faithful. And he said that you seek and you will find him. So that means you gotta be seeking him. And another thing I want us to look at is we war from victory. Okay, sometimes we don't know why our faith is not working. Before you even started the fight, you'd already been declared a winner. But you still have to start the fight. So we don't go to God wanting to. It's not that I received God because I fasted, or he came to my aid because I'm trying to find a good example. Okay, so the war of Jericho, the Jericho wall, right? First of all, before the Israelites started fighting, all the wars that Joshua took the Israelites to, even the one that Moses took them to, everything that the Israelites went through, before they even went through it, they had already been declared a winner. God was not taking them to the wilderness to kill them. The wilderness was just to build them up, right? The wall of Jericho was in Joshua. I think the first chapters of Joshua. And basically, God told the Israelites that they had, like, he gave them like a set of instructions. They had to walk around that wall 7 times. But they really had to walk around that wall 6 times. And the 7th time, they had to walk around it 7 times. I don't know if that makes sense. And it was right after they walked the 7 times. They walked around that wall 7 times. Right after that, the wall broke down. But before they even walked, the whole Jericho, the land and everything, God had already given all that place to them. That was a promise to them before they even started. They even started the journey. Before they started the journey, God had already told them the lands that he was going to entrust in their care, what he was going to give to them. You know what that says? That they were already winners before they decided to even go on their run. They decided to even obey God. They were already winners. But this is God though. That's why the Bible, everything in the Bible is so practical in our day-to-day lives. Because God's nature is so consistent. There's nothing that God is going to ask you to do today that when you look in the Bible, you will not see the pattern of God consistently training his children that way, or consistently working with his people that way. The Israelites were already winners before they even started their war. Before they went into the many wars they went into. They were winners. That's really what I wanted to say. Our fight as believers is just putting in the work. Like, it's praying that we're in alignment with him, and then putting in the work that we need to put in to be at where he's called us to be. And I think it's very disrespectful to present nothing to God. Literally nothing to him. And then ask him to bless the nothing that you presented to him. Like, I can't tell God, Father, make me go speak to these nations. if I'm not giving him anything to work with, it's so disregarding of who he is. And it's so lazy on our part. And as believers, like, if we're praying against anything, we need to start praying against laziness. We need to stop praying. We need to start praying about idleness. And we need to just get up and do the work. Get up and do it. So James 2 verse 20 says to 22 says, senseless person, are you willing to learn that faith without works is useless? Wasn't Abraham our father justified by works in offering Isaac his son on the altar? Wasn't Abraham justified by offering his son Isaac on the altar? So God had told Abraham to sacrifice his son. Everybody says, oh, Abraham was deemed righteous because he had faith. But that faith that Abraham had was accompanied by his works. Because how do you show that you have faith? By doing it. So you're saying that you trust that God is going to give you that car, or you trust that God is going to give you something. But because you trust that he's going to give it to you, you're just going to sit down. You know. Like, you're just going to sit down, not do anything. Sit down because he's going to give it to you. Faith is not supposed to, it's not supposed to perpetuate idleness and laziness. If you say that you have faith, then do the very thing. Do it believing that when you do it, there's going to be an outcome. Imagine a couple that's trusting God for a baby. And God said they have it in God's word. I mean, he doesn't even have to say it to you directly. He says that we should be fruitful and multiply. He didn't say some people should not be fruitful. He didn't say that some people should be fruitful. He says that be fruitful and multiply. So just from that one Bible verse, you know that this is something that's already given to you. That if you're asking God for a child, you're not asking from a losing place. You're asking from a winning place. Because he's already giving those things to you, even though you don't have it right now. So what you do is not, you still have to get intimate. You're not Virgin Mary. You're still gonna have to do something to get to that. You don't just be like, oh, God is gonna give me a baby. So, my husband could be 3,000 miles away. I could be 5,000 miles away. And somehow I'm still gonna have a baby. We still have to put in the work. And ladies and gentlemen, this is all I have for y'all today. Faith without works is dead. Trust that anything that God has said that he will do it. And y'all, I get it. I understand. Like, I understand more than you think I do. That in a moment, it's hard to have faith. That there are times that you're having faith, but there's nothing. There's nothing in your physical environment. There's nothing in your physical circumstance that gives you that hope that you're really gonna get what you're waiting for. I get it. But even in those moments, we should take that thing to God and keep working and keep persisting and keep being consistent in the things that we're asking him for. I pray that this word do a thing in your heart. And I pray that as it gets hard out here, if this life present to us so much on our path, so many things, and all these troubles and all these tribulations and all these other things that we go through, that we really understand that when we're fighting for something, especially as believers, that we're not fighting from a losing place, but then we're always fighting from a winning place. We still have to go around that wall 7 times, but that's not an indication. That does not mean that we got that thing, or we were entrusted that thing because we walked that wall. That thing was already given unto us. But what shows that you have faith in me? What shows that you have faith in God? Is if you really still do what he tells you to do. It's obedience. Like, faith has to be accompanied by obedience. So this is episode 6, you guys. Thank you for watching this. If you haven't yet subscribed to this page, y'all, subscribe to this page. This page is not, it's not growing, y'all. Like, it's, I'm just trusting God with this thing, because I'm just like, where y'all at? Y'all need to start watching these videos. This would be such a blessing to a lot of people. And if you've seen it, like, comment, subscribe, share with somebody else, and may you all be blessed. Okay, have a good rest of your week. I think I'm gonna post this tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. It's probably gonna be Monday when I post it, but I'll see you guys here next week. Trust me, I'm trying. You know, like, we're really gonna be recording an episode every week, and I think I did good. I think it's like the 7th day or whatever. But yeah, have a great day. I love y'all so much. And I'm glad that I get to talk to y'all about God. I literally love talking to people about God. Really, on a regular day, I love talking to people about anything, everything. But now my favorite thing in this world is God. And so, yeah. You guys have a great day.